Hello, hello, hello. What's up, guys?
What's happening?
Hello.
How you doing?
Excellent. Enjoying the nice summer weather.
It's hot. You know, it's cold. But it's cooler. Let me say that. It's cooler here in Chicago, but it's humid as fuck. Okay. So I really don't know what to think. I don't know. I'm Italian. It doesn't help. And you guys are in Portland, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you?
So maybe the weather's a lot better by you, but over here it's hot right now. So anyway, as everyone knows, I'm Fran LaSavage, Savage Ladies of Metal. With me today, we got Portland's Amerikan Overdose. How you guys doing?
We are good. I see John Tune the Doubt has popped in. What's up, John?
So
He's in the
yeah,
chat.
John,
So
say
thanks for
hello here.
joining.
Anyone's got a question, feel free to put it in the notes on the side, and I will be happy to ask. Feel free to join in anytime. So you guys want to introduce who you guys are, what you're about, what you play, who we're missing?
Cody Perez, vocalist, Amerikan Overdose. We're from Portland, Oregon, shock rock and metal industrial band. We're missing Starby bass, Brick on drums, and Pito, second vocalist.
All right, and
I'm
one or
Bishop
two of them
Freeman.
may or may not pop in, though, right?
Yeah.
Starby will for sure pop in and wave and say hello and maybe to answer a question too if you have any for her.
All right, cool. And you are, my dear?
I am Bishop Freeman Manfrey and I play guitar in American Overdose.
And thank you guys for making the time to come out on a Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday night for me, afternoon for you. Also, want to just put this out there. This is being broadcasted nationwide. And for those of you who don't know, not only is this on Facebook, but it is on our YouTube, but it is connected to several Facebook pages throughout the United States. And one of them is actually worldwide. And we've got Concert Junkies in New Jersey. We got the Loud Spot out of Oklahoma. World Metal Scene Chicago. I run that shit, so it's here. Of course, World Metal Scene Group itself. We got Jason who runs that. That's out of Michigan. We got Heaps of Metal in America with Sarah Jacobs. And if everyone knows who Sarah Jacobs is, that bitch is like taking over the world when it comes to promotion. She's part of mass pages, but that one directly we are connected to, as well as every single person who has shared this link everywhere. I've gotten mass notifications for it. So everyone that is doing that, who is helping spread the metal, thank you. Appreciate that. So besides that, guys, first and foremost, I want to say welcome back.
Thank you. It's been a long time. This year was a lot of first for a long time for us as far as playing shows and putting music out. I mean, we put a song out last year, but it was we put it out just to let people know we were making a return, and then we made our first show back in April of this year, and we've been playing regionally now, trying to just build the fan base up again and just putting out new music. Yeah, it was crazy not playing any shows and being dead for 4 years.
Yeah, a majority of which was COVID, sadly. That was probably the longest period of time in my personal life as an adult that I wasn't playing a show every weekend or playing out live. So it was nice to it's nice to get back to it. I'm glad that we're getting close to normal. It's getting close. It's not quite like it was pre-pandemic, but things are picking up in the live music scene. So we're really happy about that.
Yeah, it's got to be kind of almost like a culture shock, and I say culture literally because I mean, COVID wasn't even your reasoning for walking away. That just probably added to the time.
Yeah.
You guys left. You guys decided to take a break on your own in 2018, right?
Yeah, we had plans to record new music and put out another album, and we started working with Christian from Lions of the Gate, El Nino. We got a lot of tracks put out. Like we had like 50 songs, not 50 full complete songs, but like 50 something songs that we kind of combined and worked on, and then we had done some work with him, and then we did some work on our own, and then COVID hit and basically stopped everything. I started working on my solo music just because I was like, all right, well, I'm going to start doing my own thing since I have all this time on my hands. But yeah, the break kind of killed the mood and the vibe that we had going on where we were playing show after show after show. And that kind of sucked big time because, being on stage is the best part of doing music.
Right. And then all of a sudden you just stop, and then COVID comes and starts kicking everyone's ass for a while too. That makes it worse.
Oh yeah. It was definitely ass. Because being on stage is like the best drug on the planet. No
I don't
drug.
know how you guys do it. I'm going to cut you off real quick.
Sure.
I'm a booking agent over here in Chicago. Okay, booking, not entertain. Well, okay, I guess I am an entertainer in a different direction, but just I'm not a musician. All right, I don't get on stage. And this weekend I did a tribute show that I booked, and I grabbed the mic for the first time and got on stage. How the fuck do you calm your nerves? I mean, there's no way, dude. I was like this, shaking. I was like a little bitch on the stage. I was, but apparently I lost myself after 10 seconds and I just went off,
Yeah.
You got to let yourself
genuine.
loose. Honestly, it's just I like my thing is like if there's a microphone around, keep it away from me because I will get on it and I love shit talking. I love making people laugh or making people like, oh, it's disgusting, or just basically entertaining in any way I can. You just gotta be yourself. If you're up there and you're all stiff, it's more embarrassing. I feel like if you're just up there and like you're boring the crowd versus just being yourself and letting it all out there on the stage. It helps that we have masks, but I've been on stage with previous bands where we didn't wear makeup or anything like that. I feel like that's the best advice I could tell somebody is just like be yourself and let it come out. Like take yourself and turn up the volume on it and fucking let that be what people hear and see of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that difficult for us, really. I think because of our personalities just in general. And it's not that way for every musician. I mean, there are a lot of musicians that still have a hard time right before they go on stage. Famous musicians that, get upset stomach and vomit and are very nervous because they do the music, then they're playing live basically just to get their music out there, and they're not really people, interested in people. Whereas we are very much interested in people. Put the music down, put us in a place where there's people, and we're going to do things to get attention, and we stand out and kind of attract people to us. So the things that I get nervous for before we go on stage is my gear going to work? That's about it. The crowd, I love it. It's like, someone handed me a lit joint. I'm ready to smoke it immediately. I love people, and the bigger the crowd, the better. The smaller the crowd, the better. I don't, I talk to people about it all the time. They talk about the nerves and why don't we get nervous? And the truth is because we're in our element. It's like a warm blanket being up on stage. For us, I know that everybody in the band is like that. We really enjoy the stage.
I want to give a quick shout out to Tim Roberts here. He had major surgery recently, and you were my prayers, buddy. I hope you're doing well and recovering. He had some crazy surgery that happened. This is like the fifth one, I think, from what I heard. And just want to give a shout out to him and hoping he's healing and recovering.
No, fast healing, Tim, man. Get that shit done, fixed, and out partying for the shows.
Yeah, get well soon, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, props to just all you guys. I just don't know how you do it. All the musicians that get up there, and I know everyone has nerves. Some don't. They don't think twice. Everything I do of all the things, I'm on camera all the time on this or that. I can't see you say looking out at the crowd. I was so happy that our sound guy had no idea how to do lights because he was a last second fill-in because he had nothing but blue in my face, which pisses photographers off, by the way.
Right.
It's because I do that too, and it's like motherfucker, turn them off. Yeah, but from the stage point of view, I couldn't see anybody. I'm like, this is beautiful. I don't see faces looking at me, and I was able to talk and sing. So that for me, that works out. But so anyway, though, so you guys finally decided to come back. What made you want to come back?
You could say it was definitely.
There was no plans to leave in general. I mean, we knew we were going to do it. It's just as a matter of time. There was no point in us playing shows when things were still semi shut down and whatnot. And we kept writing. We were still working and doing writing more, adding to the material that we have. Like right now, we're sitting on so much stuff. It's not even funny. Like I'm still trying to sort through some of the stuff that I like and I don't like and whatnot. But I mean, we owe it to everybody, honestly, to continue this going because we've had so many people invest their time, their money coming out to shows, making sacrifices, getting tattoos of our band logos and whatnot. It's like I would never want to quit this or stop this, knowing that so many people have put their faith in us. Like we've always been this, do-it-yourself band from, working from the ground up. And people love that. I think they really dig that. And they're like, you know what? I like to root for the underdog. So I think that's always been in the back of my mind, regardless of if we take a break for a year or we take a break for 4 years. I feel like I'm responsible, and we are responsible to come back and bring more music, entertainment, and keep it going and keeping the name alive for those people that have believed in us, and all these new people that we keep stringing along with us all these years. So the drive for the music and the people that have supported us since the beginning and that have supported us over the years.
Right.
Yeah, and I agree with that, actually. The downtime for American Overdose, even though I wasn't in the band at the time, was tough for me as well. I didn't like seeing that because, there are a lot of people that really, truly enjoy American Overdose and really, want new music or new media all the time. And such a long pause can be difficult. So I was very, very, very glad that they were all ready to get back on the horse and get back out there and, put new material out and keep the name alive. It's very important to all of us. We put a lot of hard work into it, and, we do have our own kind of underground cult following at this point. And they deserve to be able to have us until we can't breathe anymore. So no matter what happens, we'll keep doing this. It's very important.
I totally agree. I mean, one way or another, everyone has its base. It is a cult, which we can talk about also with the next with the video we're going to play, because I had a couple questions regarding that.
Okay.
But before we even get to that, I'm gonna get to that sooner or later. So I wanted to talk though about a couple of different things. For a lot of people I know, like me, I mean, I've known about you guys for a few years. Actually, I heard about you during your break. Go figure. When I was just like, who the hell is this? And I started listening to one of my girlfriends was jamming out, and she's like, bitch, please, you. I'm like, I'm not fucking superhuman, okay? I don't hear everything, And I was like, dude, I love it, because I'm musically well-rounded. I love it all, and you guys got a little bit of everything, the whole new metal. How you doing?
Starby, she says, how you doing?
Hi, good. Working.
Yeah, say hello to the nation.
Say hello to the nation.
Hello, nation.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
You too, sweetheart. Make sure you make these drinks double and strong, less ice.
Yeah.
Spritz of drinks. No overdose on Coke or club soda bullshit. Just a spritz, just to give it the flavor and color.
Yeah, it's important. Don't overdose on Coke.
We're gonna get you drunk on my show. How about that?
Well,
we're gonna get him drunk on the show. All right. So you got to double up on his drinks, less ice, and just a spritz of flavor. That's it.
Right. That's
you got
what we do anyhow. No flavor, just straight tequila.
There you go. All right, make sure you get him nice and buzzed for me, so we're cracking up at the end of the show. We're just gonna be watching him. I'm gonna stop asking questions.
I love it. All right, I gotta go. I'll bring you some tequila.
Thank you.
Take care, hon. So now, first and foremost, I was checking a lot of stuff up, and I gotta say, I love the band logo, or not the logo. I'm sorry, the credo, not logo. I love the credo of the band. You want to say what it is? You want me to?
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Hey, did you forget? Sell your soul for the rock and roll. Kill your God and take control. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Well, I mean, yes, that is one of our credos, and we have a grip of them.
All right, so that's one of them. You have more than one?
Yeah, but it's probably best we just let those lie.
There's always somebody sensitive watching.
Yeah. True.
This is the YouTube page where I just don't care. I'm not sensitive. I'm insensitive. But not everyone's like that. And I understand that. Yeah. But so I wanted to talk about a couple of different things. For instance, the band logo, the actual name, I've noticed ER is emphasized both times. Why?
The ER, like in
American Overdose, like the ER is emphasized.
Right. So, like in the last set of logos, the ER was overemphasized, like emergency. I wasn't in the band.
Okay, you're talking about the I can't really speak on that. This is new. This is my background of the new one that we kind of use.
Right.
I think it's just because it looked cool. Like we had an idea, like to use some of the same letters, so that it kind of blended the name. There was no real like hidden thing that I would say that was in there, but the guy that we were working with, we kind of threw some ideas at him, and he just was like, "Oh, I can take a couple of letters and make, you know, there's no real hidden meaning behind
No real
everything."
reason, it's just decoration kind of thing.
I wish there was.
Okay, because I was trying to figure that out. I was just like, I don't know if it's supposed. Are you guys emphasizing something like emergency room or
It's
panic
not
attack?
necessarily us, but I think the world the universe does things on its own. We're just part of it. So anybody who's working with media or makes and designs artistic things, they're trained from an early age to look for these things and put them in there, subconscious things. And so since in our name, and like I said, I wasn't in the band when the last logo was made, but in the last set of logos, the ER was huge,
Mm-hmm.
like really, really, really big.
Right.
And I think that with the idea of overdose, and the emergency of America and like 9/11 that is connected to the American idea, I think that, it's common for people to pick things from their subconscious and put them into things that they work on for us. I mean, we didn't necessarily say, hey, do this, we're more like, listen to our music, pull what you think out of it, get us something, and we'll see if we like it. And if we like it, we'll use it. And that we've always kind of been that way. And I just think that people lean into that when they can see it. They can see the ER and kind of emphasize the idea of emergency. I think that they utilize that in order to do exactly what it did for you. It stands out. It makes you ask a
Right.
question and go, what
Exactly.
do they mean something by this? Well, let me look through all of these, songs. Let me see if there's clues to what they're talking about, because there is stories going on, and it does connect to our media in ways, but it's not necessarily from us. It's from the universe. The universe is doing it for us.
If you look at the logo here on the new one,
Mm-hmm.
this was another thing that got put on there that we didn't tell him to do that, but it looks like a pill, right? Like this little the O.
Yeah.
He purposely, like, he did that, and we didn't tell him to do that, but it's just people have taken, like, we give them the music, and then that's what they come up with.
Right.
I get it. You know what? It pops, so it draws attention to it. So I get that.
We've done a lot of interviews before in the past, and it's funny that you are the only one that's ever asked that question or ever like really looked into it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. That is great.
Yeah.
I love symbolism, and I love when people look for the symbolism, even in places that we didn't necessarily design it that way. But we're fortunate enough that the spirit that's running things in our universe does, drop those things for us. It's great that people see it and enjoy it.
It says that the music is obviously speaking to people, and it's connecting with them to an extent where they're able to be like, oh, okay, I get this, or this is how I feel, and it just happens to work out in our favor. Because if something doesn't work, like when we give the first set around of like ideas to someone, and then they're working like on an image or whatever, we'll critique the hell out of it, and we'll say adjust this or change that, or no, we love that, and we won't put it out until we're happy with it. So same with our music.
Well, I think it looks good. It looks great. I mean, there is a change from it, but it was from the old logo. I mean, I know this obviously the updated logo, but it was all, I was just like, why is that standing out? I'm not seeing anything on this. I'm going to ask, So I'm glad I'm the first one. I don't know, my hair is itching me, so don't mind me. I'm glad I'm the first one to ask that. So for anyone else who was wondering, there you go. I got you.
There you go.
All right, so now also I want to talk about the gimmick. I love the fact you guys got the whole killer clown thing. Everyone knows I love clowns, and you guys got that whole crazy "I'm going to kill you" kind of style going on, which definitely grabs my attention. What is the purpose of the gimmick? What's the connection to the name?
Go answer that. I'll let you answer.
Okay. So
is there a connection?
Well, absolutely, because we were influenced by these things in our life. For me, it was like Kiss and Marilyn Manson and Motley Crue and these things growing up. And for Cody and Pete, same situation, Mudvayne and Marilyn Manson and these things, but also wrestling, and the hyper emphasized parts of personalities are a huge, like I was saying, it's a huge part of our normal everyday lives. Forget the music. It's just, we're interested in these things in our lives. So it makes sense that, we want to create an environment for people to enjoy entertainment in a hyper reality kind of space. And you can't do that in, under a big thick beard and camouflage shorts and a t-shirt. You know, that looks like your buddy next door that you talk to and you're rocking out on his porch every day. When you go to a show and you're paying money and you want to be a part of something special, you know, you want what you're seeing to be out of this world. And so, you know, the face paint and the masks and all that kind of represent these second selves, you know, that we all kind of need in the entertainment industry. And some people choose to do it with just plain makeup or certain roles that they play or how they dress. We really enjoy face paint and mask bands, you know, Slipknot and Mudvayne and
Right.
these kinds of people. And so that's how it worked. I mean, for me, that's what drew me to the band in the first place, is that, you know, I was playing all kinds of other music, and, you know, I had always enjoyed shows, performance, like a real show. And I was looking on a list, and I saw an ad for a band that wore face paint, and I was like, I got to check this out, you know, because this is what I want to do. And they, you know, they were already kind of doing it, and I wasn't, but it appealed to me. And so, you know, I think this is why we all want to have a character, want to dress up, want to kind of put people on that edge so that you can interact with them. You know,
Right.
people ignore the bland and normal. You know, they might enjoy it, but it gets overlooked. But if something can, you know, get your attention, you know, fear and love and hate and these kind of things take way more energy from the human mind than you know, love and kindness and these sweet kind of hippie things, you know.
Mhm.
Dangerous, scary, demonic, you know, things are going to grab your attention. And then
Right.
when it grabs your attention, and it's just like, you know, say in the Legend movie, here's this big scary beast, you know, but you kind of feel sorry for him because he loves the girl so much. So you're like
Aw,
a
yeah. That's one of my
you
favorite
know,
fucking movies. I love 80s movies, just saying.
right. So, you know, those you need that those polar ends together. So we put out, you know, this image and this sound, and then when people come and meet us and see us, you know, we're a fun time and we're fun people and we laugh and have a great time. And so there's this, you know, element of it that, you know, makes it fun and entertaining. You know, we would probably dress up and wear this stuff even if we weren't out playing shows, because it's, again, just like being on stage, it's a part of who we are. This, you know, wanting to express the darker side of ourselves versus letting it stay bottled up and, you know, eating us to death on the inside and causing cancer and disease. You know, we get to let it out and live free, you know, and do something exciting and entertaining for people. So a lot of that is just my own personal opinion, but they're my brothers and, you know, my wife in the band. And so I've known them for a long time and I know how they feel. So I think it's safe to say that we all kind of do it for the same reasons. That's why we click so well, I think.
Yeah, exactly. 100% agree with all that. At the time when we were starting the band, no one was doing it around this area. Obviously, there have been the bands, you know, doing it in the early 2000s, Slipknot and Mudvayne and all that. But no one around this area was doing it, and it wasn't popular. New metal wasn't popular. So now that to see all these new bands that are doing makeup and masks and doing new metal and new metal's being cool again, it's awesome to see that. But I also remember, and I remind people, remember when American Overdose was first coming out, we wore the makeup, we wore the masks, we wanted to do new metal, we were playing new metal, we were claiming it even when it wasn't cool, and you know, deathcore was the thing that everyone was into and trying to do. And we got made fun of, and people were talking trash and calling us all sorts of names. Like, just remember, we were trying to keep it alive, and we've been doing that since 2009. So
Right.
I always remind and like to bring that up in interviews so people realize that American Overdose was doing this when it wasn't cool. And so we're not just jumping on some trend now that new metal is coming back around. That was the initial reason why I started this band. Was I loved that style of music, and I wanted to blend it in with, you know, some dance beats and industrial music and EDM and all that kind of stuff. And you can hear it on the first album, you can see how it's evolved into what it is now. But we definitely I'm not saying we're pioneers of it, but we were doing it when it wasn't cool, and it was, you know, it was on the downside, and it was the nerdy thing and hated upon thing to do. or to
And
see.
nobody was doing it. Yeah. Nobody
Right.
was doing it.
And now it's like everyone's doing it now.
Yeah, even people that didn't
everyone is
do it
creating their
before.
own sound.
Deathcore bands are wearing masks and they're doing the whole thing, and it's like cool, but just remember we were the guys that were doing it, and we were being made fun of all the time. Like there were people hate us on the internet. They still do. We get a lot of hate. People like, oh, they're jumping on the bandwagon. I'm like, go do some research on the band and find out that we got videos out there. We've been doing this since 2009. It's not
Right.
anything new.
There's always gonna be some shit talker out there, and it's like, go
They're
ahead,
my
keep
favorite.
shit talking. The
They're my
more
favorite.
attention you bring to us, the better. Keep it coming.
We love to get in arguments online with them. Like we troll right back. It's like it's
Oh, yeah.
I'm not just gonna sit back and go, oh no. I love getting under their skin because I'm a huge
Same.
troll. I can get under people's skin very easily.
I don't even try, and I get under people's skin. It's like, then I'm doing it right, motherfucker.
Right.
It's not a bad thing.
No, same for me. I mean, I love a good internet trolling, and I like I said earlier, dislike or discontent or hate and these things take up a lot of people's energy, and so anybody that's spending a lot of time, disliking what I do or trying to critique what we look like or what we say or our music, well, they're listening to the music to critique it. They're looking at the pictures so that they can see what they dislike about it. They're putting so much energy into something that they, claim that they don't like, more so than probably the people that love us. The people that love us are like, listen to the song, enjoy it, come to the page, look at what's going on for a minute, and then move on with their life. Then there's the people that don't like us that'll spend 45 minutes or an hour or 9 hours arguing with us on some webzine or on Facebook. And so, we get a lot of energy out of them, and that energy just, helps us grow.
Right.
Like in our video.
Absolutely.
And use it. Like it's to us. People don't realize that. Like when they put that much focusing on hating on us and talking trash about us, it gets more clicks. Like for example, like the PRP, their fans absolutely. The PRP is great. They love us. They've been always great. They share our stuff, but their fans absolutely hate us. Like anytime they post anything about us, they go on there and they make up some lies in the comments. If you look on their actual page, some of the things they say about us, it's like, where did you even get your facts from?
You can't wait to hear what kind of shit you're gonna learn about yourself next. I get it.
We actually enjoy
another thing I love.
We always look forward when we're going to release something new and the PRP shares it. We're like, let's go look and see what they're saying about us now, because it's always something new that we're hearing.
You know what? But it actually works in your favor. It works in everyone's favor. When there's people who are just shit talking and they keep drawing attention. I can name several people, one in England right now, but I'm not dropping names for you. And, who has nothing better to do with their time, and they just start attacking people who haven't even contacted them, let alone talk to them at all. Yeah. And it's just like, dude, you're doing them a favor. Keep talking shit. People who've never even known what happens are going to look into these people. You just might be doing them a favor and giving them more fans. Keep talking.
Solid.
The old saying, bad publicity, it can still be good publicity. So.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Cody, I wanted to ask you. Sorry, I love my coffee, and that's all I drink all the time. I swear it is coffee sometimes. The rest of the time, it's Jaeger.
Wow.
Me and Jaeger aren't friends anymore. I can tell you.
I hear that so often. Me and Jaeger, man. I don't remember much of our history, but I look at it as a positive thing. Then
we did good for a long time, and then it took a turn. I played a bar. I won't name any names. Keep the innocent, innocent. But the bartender was pouring it over the bar in my throat from the bottle. Mm-hmm. And I probably drank most of that bottle myself, but it damaged me. And so, I laid face down, on the floor and wouldn't move. And it was a bad situation. But every time after that, I tried to drink it, I'll black out instantly. So that's what I mean when it doesn't like me anymore. Me and that spirit used to be cool. We used to be great. I could drink it all night long. It was no problem. But I took advantage of it one too many times, and it's like, nope, no more for you.
Yeah, I'm attached to it like a fucking Fireball too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Damn Fireball for making those cheap airplane shots. You could take them everywhere. Anyway, moving on from that though. So Cody, I wanted to ask you, man, do you have like a new face mask for every video?
No, not necessarily. So I do have a new mask that just got made. The guy that did it actually did a mask for Corey Taylor down in California. He like works with a lot of stuff, but I have not shown that yet. We're waiting to do a new photo session that we're going to do to reveal it and whatnot. But I had a mask that I used in like the tour that we did in 2018, and I had two masks of that made. I had one that was made like it looked like kind of like a Freddy Krueger colors, and then I had one that was made. It was like a bluish, purplish like look on it. And I didn't like that color because it just didn't really show like the features on it. So Starby, the bass player, she actually went in and painted it, and I gave her some ideas of what I wanted for colors, and she kind of just did her own thing with it and made it awesome. And that's kind of what you're seeing now on the video for Agastopia, and then also in the photo session, the promo shoots that we do, and in the you'll see it in the Disconnect video on Thursday. But the mask that I'm using live now is actually a mask that I used back like in 2015, 16. And the reason why I'm using a different mask live is because the mask that I currently use in the videos is really loose. Like I'm not kidding you. Like the skin pulls back like that much far from my head, or that far back from my head. And it just slips off. And with all the sweat and whatnot, I would not be able to have it live and rock out. So I'm using an older mask for the live show so that way I can keep it on and not worry about it falling off.
What are those made of?
The one that I have right now that I use in the videos, that one's made out of silicone. The one that I have, I believe is latex. It's like a hard latex type of thing for the one that I use live. But it's got straps on the back that make it like super tight so that I don't have to worry about it slipping off. I'd like to use the other mask live because it'd be consistent with our videos. But the fact that I tried putting tampons in there, if you can believe it or not. In one of the videos, I put a bunch of tampons in the back of the mask to see if that would hold in. It did not hold in at all.
Wait, you put tampons on the back of your head? You know, I want to see
maxi pads, that's what it is.
I want to see some tampons on the back of your head.
Maxi pads, that's what it is. Whatever the hell, I don't know this.
They were maxi pads, but
they were maxi pads, and it didn't soak up any of the sweat really, and it slipped. They slipped right down, and luckily you can't see them in the distance.
Well, I'm just putting this out there. Next time you want to try using tampons, I don't recommend them being freshly used, but maybe get them a little wet so they actually do thicken up and blow up. Take up more space on the back.
It might have added some cool effects for the video if we would have used some used
I'm sorry.
some bloody tampons.
That wouldn't have been a bad idea.
Vampire element.
Now you know. See, that's what I'm here for, man. Anything I can shoot out there. That's great. You got to do what you got to do. You got to fill in that gap. You know, at least you could say you don't have a big head.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do. I really do. I actually have a huge head, which is crazy. That means that the mask is that much. Like he made it over exaggerated because it was before I got a live casting done. He just kind of made it. He made me measure myself. I sent it out, and I think he just took it to another level of how big he thought my head actually was at, and so. I am happy now that I have a mask that fits, and I have a live cast now. So whenever I hit up people for masks and shit, so I will always have something that actually fits to my face in the future.
All right, well, that's nice.
I posted a picture of the maxi pads the day that we had the video shoot, and I said we're using.
Hey, the maxi pads might be another good idea because you can roll those up, and those are even you could get them based on. I can't believe I'm having this conversation.
Yeah, that's what the internet said.
Everything it did not work. They slipped right off.
They're thicker. They take up more.
You got the heavy flow. Like someone just.
Yeah, we got the heavy flow. It took some major
convincing.
I have to let you know. It took some major convincing to get him to do this in the first.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, because
right.
I made my girlfriend buy them because at the store I was like, this makes me look like a pervert.
All right, somebody get a picture of the back of this man's head with tampons or maxi pads in his mask and send it to me, please. I promise it'll stay between us, but I just want to hit that floor.
I think it's too late to get them now. I don't know if anyone took any pictures of that, but we'll see.
Oh, this is funny as fuck. I'm so sorry. I wasn't expecting that. That's great. It's all the little things that people just don't know until these interviews. You know, it's just like fucking hilarious. I love it.
And I wasn't planning on ever telling anybody really, but you asked the question, so I figured it's a good opportunity to just let it out.
That's beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that. John says, but you are a pervert. You know, we all are. So some of us are more honest about it.
It was face down, ass up. I mean, that doesn't tell you anything.
Oh, good God.
No,
Yeah.
I'm live. I'm gonna shut up. Moving on. You don't need to see all me yet. Not live, at least. Well, in person, yeah. But so going back though. So you guys came back. You released a few songs. Your latest song is "Disconnect," and you just released that. Actually, it was just recently released. How's that been so far?
Oh my God. I was telling these guys earlier that the song is almost like it's getting up there where it hasn't even been out for a week yet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost at the total streams. It's halfway to the streams of what Narrow Static is at. And we put a lot of like promotion behind Narrow Static, and it's been out for 2 months. So I'm like, if we continue on this pattern that we're on right now, it's going to blow it out of the water. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we've submitted it to all these playlists, and some of these playlists have like one of them that we got added onto is like 24,000 followers on there. So that has been a huge thing. A lot of the people are sharing the hell out of the song. So we put a lot of promotion behind it. We did PR, a lot of playlist pitching. I think it's a lot of it has to do with the playlist pitching. We'll see how the video does. I think the video will be killer for it as well. But I'm really happy with how it turned out as far as, the response from people, because it's my personal favorite song to play and my personal favorite song of ours that we listen to, like that I will listen to of our songs.
Right. Now, normally I'm totally game for promoting the video, and we did talk before we went live. The actual video itself is not out yet, correct?
We're doing a video premiere on YouTube, on our YouTube channel on Thursday at 10 a.m. or 10 a.m. Pacific time.
There you go. So that's going to be 12 p.m. my time Central, 11, 1 o'clock Eastern, so on and so forth, and all you fucking time zones, wherever everyone is. But there is an audio to it. We will play it later. As you said, though, you got Narrow Static, and that was released last year, and that is an awesome, great song. Also,
it was released in June.
Oh,
Narrow
in June.
Was released in June. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, June. I'm sorry. Sorry. The other your coming back song, was it a guest? I couldn't pronounce it.
Agastopia was released.
I was like, I can't pronounce it. That was your coming back, and then June 6th was Narrow Static.
Yep.
And that is band name.
Amerikan Overdose.
Yeah, I thought he could see it. Right, so it's at the top left if you ever need to look for future reference. But yeah, it's Amerikan Overdose. And they're from Portland, badass guys. Very, very new metal. It's just fucking killer sound. You got to check them out. If you haven't, you will now. But we do have the video for Narrow Static, and it is a badass song. It is definitely a killer song. And how was that released when you guys released that a couple months ago?
Amazing. I thought that was probably one of the better ones that we had. And just so you know, and just so people that are listening know, Agastopia, Narrow Static, and Disconnect, and some of the more songs that are coming out in the future, it's going to be a big storyline that we're telling. So if you watch the videos, you'll see on Thursday when we release Disconnect, the video is connected to Narrow Static, and Narrow Static is connected to Agastopia and so forth. So we're telling a story here in the videos.
All right, cool. We will get to that. So with your permission, I actually do have Narrow Static ready to go for a promotion for everyone to check out. You guys want to hear it? Okay, again, I apologize. I know YouTube has connection when it comes to videos. It's not my fault, but I'm working on it. But so I'm going to go ahead and play Narrow Static, you guys. Everyone, this was just released 2 months ago. It's a badass song and a trippy video. Check it out.
Who are those guys?
Mind to feel I'm alive. The stars shining bright, they blind my sight. What can I say? What can I do? I I do it all for you. Gotta get it live to get it done. Gotta give it your all when you give your life. Gotta give it live to get it done. Gotta give it your all when you give your life. Lights, nightlife, help me set sight. I reach up high and I touch the sky. New heights, same fight. I cannot die. I cannot die. I cannot die. You take me so much higher. You know what I desire. How can I live? How can I be? You are a part, you're all of me. Gotta get it live, to get it done. Gotta give it your all, you give your life. Gotta give it live, to get it done. Gotta give it your all, you give your life. I wanna feel like I am in love. I wanna hurt, I wanna heal, I wanna feel something more than love. I just wanna live, I just wanna love, I just wanna feel like I am enough. I just wanna hurt, I just wanna heal, I just wanna feel something more than love. I just wanna live, I just wanna love, I just wanna feel like I am enough. I just wanna hurt, I just wanna heal, I just wanna feel something more than love.
That was badass. I love that song.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about it. All
right.
right. First and foremost, who was the excuse me? Who was our star that was walking down that hallway?
The Regina,
It was Regina.
the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an actress that we found. Did you find her from backstage?
Yeah.
Yeah. An actress that we notified that we were, looking for someone to be in our video, and
You said you found her backstage. You just said, "Hey, you'll do," and just grabbed the bit. Oop, grab her.
No. There's a website for actors, for gig actors.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of those out there. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one's called Backstage. It's
All right. Cool.
That's the one that was suggested to us to be the
Okay.
most reputable, to actually have people who really work, and she does work a lot and is very professional, knew exactly what needed to be done. And that's what I was going to actually comment on when I was watching it. It's crazy. We only spent one day with her, but I've seen her face so much and spent so much time with her face and watching her do things that I feel like I know her really, really well. Probably,
Yeah.
more than I should. So like when, the next time we see her, feel real connected to her, because we've looked at her a lot, a lot, going through and editing the videos, and she will be in the next video as well.
Well, she's obviously made her place with you guys. No, but she's a
Definitely.
great actress. And but about the video, I noticed that her wrist was scanned.
Yeah.
That this is like we've seen movies like this where, you know, that's our identification card, you know, and I'm sure that shit's coming too. We all know. Everything we've been watching for the last 30 years on TV is starting to happen. That was all our preparation for the reality shitstorm that we're about to experience.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But so now, what exactly was the video about? What is that song about?
It's
You talking about the video or the song itself?
Well,
Like,
let's start with the song first. Neurostatic. What was the story behind that song?
so Neurostatic was kind of like the other part of Agastopia. So Agastopia is from this perspective of like the devil or the demon or the entertainment industry devil coming and trying to seduce an entertainer or an actress, an actor, a musician, or whatever, and propose like, you know, here I got all these things I can offer you, and you know, people will love you, and all this stuff. So that's from the perspective of the devil, the evil person. Neurostatic was coming from the perspective of the entertainer or the victim. You know, the person that's saying, you know, like basically, you know, sure, I want to do this and that, and I want to be an entertainer. But then realizing that they want what they're wanting actually is the basics. They want to love. They want to feel. They don't want to feel numb. Like once they get all these things that come at them, all this entertainment, the fame, the fortune, they still feel numb and empty inside. Like so, a lot of like the white room that you're seeing in the background in the video, we wanted to have that because we wanted to kind of give the impression of like, you know, emptiness. So as far as the song goes, it's kind of telling the story for Neurostatic anyways, it's telling the story from the victim, from the entertainer perspective.
Okay.
I'm talking about the video.
Right. Now, in the video, she's, you know, it's like, what exactly is the neural path that they're reaching? I mean, are they channeling the demons or the cult that is in her head that's possessing her? I mean, what is going on in that?
Well, it's subjective, really. We've left it ambiguous so that anybody can really pull what they want for it. The intent, however, is that, you know, society has put itself in an environment of seclusion, even though they're reaching out, trying to grasp the things that's being talked about in the song. So, you know, love and interconnection with other humans and stuff. It appears that through social media and cell phones and these things that people are more connected, and in reality, we've never been more disconnected. You know, we're very alone and isolated in our world, but so hyper connected to this other reality, which is a reality that's kind of in our mind. And so, you know, our points of views and stuff dictate what we look at on our communication device, you know.
Right.
And then it'll start feeding you things that it knows that you like. It starts enabling you to, you know, be focused into this world that may not be realistic. And so, you know, both literally and figuratively, we live in a simulation, so to speak. So some people actually truly spend all of their time in the computer or in a VR world or in an augmented reality where their reality is, you know, has other emphasis on it. So like the Google glasses and things like that are people.
Video games especially.
You know,
you can dress your characters and all that, you know, your
Right. Yeah.
all
Yeah.
avatars and all that. So yeah,
Yeah. Life is one big avatar at this point now.
absolutely. And so, you know, that being said, you know, some of us in the world can see it and utilize that energy. You know, some people have created, you know, the environment specifically for that purpose. You know, and that's kind of what these series of songs are talking about, is that you know, there is a duality to how we live. There's just a duality to our consciousness as humans, period. And that whole, you know, dark or light side
Right.
kind of drives everything. It's the engine that is driving our world. And so, you know, we noticed that we actually noticed that there was a theme going in a lot of the songs that connected after the songs were done. And it, you know, wasn't necessarily intentional. And Cody can speak to that more than I can. It's just that we did notice that, hey, look, there's a theme going on here, and there's a subtextual story going on. There's the literal what's being said, but just underneath that, there's the implied, you know, what happens in this environment. And we all think about that because when we listen to music, we're having an internal monologue, most of us, I assume. We're listening to music and thinking about a memory of, a time that it's connected to, but you also kind of think about what's being said and how the song makes you feel. And then it'll, your thoughts will drift into other things. And I think that these songs, kind of get us all drifting into thinking about what's being implied with, I want to live, I want to love, or, like they did like they do on the radio, how we are really all as humans preoccupied with the idea of living in a fantastic world and not necessarily recognizing the true world we're living in, So that's
Right.
what the VR thing is about, recognizing that we are moving towards that. It's become very inexpensive. You can go for $200 or $300 and buy a really nice non-wired VR helmet and become sucked into that world quickly.
Yeah.
Whereas it used to cost a lot of money and take a lot of CPU power. They've shrunk it down, just like computers. It used to take a whole room for a computer.
Yeah. They used to be the size of an entire wall like
Right.
50 years ago, and now they're like, think it's in the palm of your hand.
Right. So VR and augmented reality have done the same thing. You can go buy a pair of glasses that'll superimpose
Right.
elements of social media and the technological world over the real world. So you can look at something, the computer in your glasses is going to recognize what it is and then give you information about it, or it might trigger, depending on what's there, some kind of game or an interaction that you can have. And now, the separation between the two worlds now exists in one place. And it's confusing, And so in this particular video, the girl is coming for an experience, and an experience is what she's getting.
And what experience is that?
Well, the connection. There's still more story to be told in the other videos, though. So
Yeah, and I'm gonna get to that too because you're saying that there's a story. So, but we still actually, you guys did. You guys are gonna allow me to go ahead and play Disconnect, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, everyone, it is just audio. But it will be out in a couple days. You'll see the actual full-blown video for it, but you will get to hear the song here. We are gonna play that live also. But it's my mind goes left a lot, so bear with me. And this is the part that everyone loves when I go left. So I'm seeing these demons. I'm seeing the demons in her mind. They're obviously cult version. I mean, everything about it gave it away.
Yeah.
Now you guys did mention you do have kind of a cult going with your following, and wanted to ask you about that. Is it just because of the way you guys are, the way you got your style of music, what you stand for, or is it just fun to say a cult?
Well, I think that it's something that happens naturally, really. It's not necessarily a cult, so to speak, but
there's always people who twist this. That's why I say that. I mean, I know, realistically to me, but for the people who are out there, they hear cult, they just go, oh my God. It's like, oh my God, shut up. That's what I want to tell them.
I do think that our fans tend to stick together and have a loyalty to us, because I think that at some levels we speak to them in a way that they don't hear in other places.
Right.
And so myself personally, there are musicians that I have that kind of feeling for, listening to them, and you hear them say something and express something in a way, and you're like that's exactly how I feel, or that's exactly what I'm thinking. And you connect with it, to the point where you get like the chills or the shivers or the hairs raise up, and you're like, okay, I'm fans for these people for life. They understand me in a world where everybody's looking to be understood, having that connection. I think that's what lets cult exist, is that, a person is able to express things to a group of people. They're like, oh, nobody else is, agreeing with me about this part of my life. And you see it, you understand it. And not only this, but like multiple things I agree with. So now I want to give myself to you, You know, it's human nature. We tend to do that, all of us, in one way or another. But there's definitely not a true cult or any doings, you know, on our part other than friendship. We like to be friendly with our fans.
They
You know,
can still worship you. They don't have to wear any kind of hooded
right?
jackets. You know, they can worship you at a
No,
whole different level.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
You know,
A lot of it's like we're very like-minded with the people that like our music. So we're
right,
outspoken, we're funny, we make jokes, we include them in on the jokes, and you know, at shows we always hang out, whether you know it's a big show or a small show. We
right.
stick around, we'll drink some beers with you, we'll chug. There'll always be a story to tell afterwards, and they remember that story, and then we remember
Right.
it, and it's kind of like whether we're
You know,
playing
and it's
show or
awesome you
a
stay
show.
humble. It's awesome that you stay humble. You know, a lot of people get an ego, and it sucks. You know, it's like, I mean, it comes with the territory. We get that.
And we're
But when,
very
you know,
interactive too. Like online, you'll see us. We are always constantly talking.
yeah,
That takes up a lot of your time, obviously, you know, like promoting and whatnot. But we comment back and we stay in touch with everybody and we make sure
right,
everyone feels included. I always tell
yeah,
people we're music for anyone, but we're not for everyone. And what I mean by that is that we'll take on anyone, but some people just don't get it or they hate it or they just don't want to like it. And they're just like,
right.
fuck. So it's like, all right, well,
You
we're
know,
not
you're
for you.
fine. You're still gonna do you.
Yeah.
Firm believer in that on every level. Always do you. You're not here to. You're not gonna make all friends. You're gonna, if you don't make at least a couple enemies, you're doing something wrong.
Oh yeah.
That's how I see it. You're buying people off. Something's going down. You know. So now you're saying that there is a story
Yeah.
that is a continuing story per song, per se. Now
Right.
you just, you know, so we got Static that came out in June, and you just released Disconnect, and I do have that. So with your permission, I'm going to go ahead and get those connections going because I got to switch YouTube up now. Is that cool with you?
Go
Yeah.
for it. Blast it.
All right, give me a minute. So for everyone, if you have not heard their new song that was just released, is called Disconnect. But again, it is. Hold on, let's spell your name differently here. It is just audio, but it's still a badass song. You're gonna, you know, visuals. You're gonna create your own visual in your head, and that's how it's supposed to be to begin with. How you see it, what you see from the music. Get this going. Well, son of a bitch. Usually it doesn't take this long. Give me a second. I'm not used to playing two videos. That's what the thing is. If I had a computer assistant, this would have been done already.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's not letting me play it. It wasn't connected.
It was disconnected.
Yeah, because I changed up the song because I was going to originally play it the first time, and then I switched it to narrow static. Let me see if I can override it. Hold on. Yeah, when I'm live, it gave me problems before about doing it live. So I am sorry. I lied. I'm not going to be able to play Disconnect. So I apologize about that. I guess it only allows me to do one song at a time.
No worries.
Ain't that some shit? Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, Sarah Jacobs is one of my newest savages, and she will be trained on this soon. And whatever I can't do, if I can't do it, let's see. When I'm live, you can only do so much, you know. But on the back end, I'm gonna bring her up with me. I know, right? I don't know who the hell Facebook user is, but yes. But anyway, so moving on forward. So, what is the story that you are trying to tell? Can you tell us that? If the story is a continuance from each song, what is the story that you're trying to tell with these singles?
Well, if we tell you now, then it's going to give away the rest of the songs.
I can say
I can tell you that the next video for Disconnect is going to be the next segment of it'll explain more of what she's doing there at the when she's getting scanned and
Okay.
the experience that she's paying for. You're going to get to see what the next step is in that. but we have yet to film the video for the next single that's going to come out hopefully in October. So I don't really have a way to tell you we have an idea of what we're going to do, but we haven't done it yet. So I can't really explain what that is. So yeah, I don't want to give away the story without like having it all fleshed out and the video being out and everything.
All right. So the only way to know is to pay attention and look out for the next video. Get to know what they've been releasing already. So there's 3 parts to this story that has been released. How many parts are there?
2 parts that have been released, and then
2.
the 2. Yeah, because Igostopia and Neurostatic, and then Disconnect. The video comes out Thursday, so that'll be the 3rd. But
Okay, well, technically, yeah, because I'm seeing the audio's already out, so in my head it's out already. So
I think the goal is going to be to continue on and see how far we can take it, because we do have a lot of music to put
you got
out.
one hell of a story to tell, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
always.
big one.
So how many more chapters in this story? Can you give us a hint on that?
At least an album's worth.
Yeah.
At least an album's
So
worth.
we're looking at
The plan is
how many are we looking at for the album? You going 8 to 12 typical?
Typically,
we're gonna try to put out 10 to 12. The goal is to put it out by hopefully March of 2024. But we do want to continue putting out singles every 2 months until then.
Every 2 months. Okay.
Every 2 months. Doesn't mean we'll have videos for all of them, because I can't guarantee that. Depends on if we have good ideas for it or if it calls for a video or not. But we will release singles at least for every 2 months until we release the album.
Right. Killer. So, and you said that's going to be in when next year?
Hopefully by March of 2024.
All right, cool.
We already have an album name and everything, but we're not releasing that yet. And we have an idea of what we're going to do for it. So we have all these visions and everything we want, but we want to tie up all the music and get all of that pieced out. So that way, when we work with the artist, the album, that they will be able to listen to it and get an idea and do that thing that we said, where they get a feel for it. And we know what colors and what themes and what pictures and whatnot. We want it all to be packaged together really well, and people to be able to have a visual they look at and also, be able to hear it.
Right. So I just want to say what's up to Lucky Charms. Girl, you need to put your name on there. You got to accept video, all that stuff, and then your name will pop up normal instead of user. Both of my savages are on here. We got Lucky Charms, who is also my Jessie. She's from Indiana. What's up, girl? And then, of course, Sarah, as everyone knows, who is all over the fucking place, and I love her to death. And she's going to be training to do interviews with me very soon, actually sooner than later. We're going to be getting her on here. So I'm going to actually double up and have a partner on the Savage side, not just a guest appearance every now and then. So one day, soon, very soon.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys, did you want to say something, Cody? Go for it.
I wanted to say we could tell you a little bit about the video and the story thus far.
Okay.
So, the video is just the first video that we've ever been in where we didn't have our costumes on. That was a strange part of it right there. And then if you watch the video, you'll notice that there are clips from the next video actually in it. And there's also clips from the previous video in the video itself. So watch it real close and you can kind of get an idea of where it's going and what it's about.
All right.
But,
cool.
we do come out dressed nicely and put on our cloaks and stand over the girl, and that's what she's paid for. So that's basically the gist of that video.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. So what kind of underground government society is that that's walking in those hallways with her? Look at that smile. Look at that smile. See? Yeah. There's a lot of questions that I didn't even think about. That is one of the questions I did answer. Asked and wrote down too. Jessica, welcome back. But so awesome. So in order to at least get a gist of the story, if people want to do this, what they got to do is they got to go back from video number 1 and start paying attention to little details.
We kind of wanted to do this kind of in a way of like, people love movies, yes, but people are so consumed by like TV shows and series that, they'll watch 12 seasons back to back. And so why not do that with music videos to keep people coming back? If we keep putting out something interesting, and we're hoping that people get an idea of what we're doing. Like some people get it and some people are just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, there's a few things popping up in comments that I'm not going to mention that popped in my head too. And I was going to ask a couple of questions, but I decided to derail it.
letting people know that it is a story that's being told, and hopefully, eventually people will be like, oh, okay, I get it. It connected the previous video by this form or fashion, and so.
Well, I can tell you this: the Illuminati isn't real. It did exist in this, 1800s, 1700s, but that was as far as it went. So we're not the Illuminati, and that's not what we're representing there.
Well, you know what? I can actually understand why people would think that and wonder that. Look at your symbol.
Well, I'm a
That was
Freemason.
another question I was going to bring up. What does the symbol represent?
Well, it's AOD. It's an A, and there's an O, and there's a D in it. But it is a sigil representing something.
I could totally see that. See, it's there's always shit hidden. There's always shit hidden in symbols, But the fact that you see, the AOD, it's I can see it now that you say that. But people's minds do wander.
Of course, we're Amerikan Overdose, and of course, the symbol that most people relate that to is the foundation of why America is America in the first place. So, of course, we kind of go hand in hand, and that goes back to the whole playing on the subconscious. Most of us, subconsciously relate these things together, and so when you can see things that are similar, and it touches on a deep feeling, then it makes you curious. And so curiosity is what we're trying to get. We want you to check it out, see if you like it, and if you do, then pick it up and carry it around with you. If you don't, put it back where you found it and go about your life.
Well, I am definitely looking forward to hearing the next release. Well, seeing the video. Let's start with that. When they see the video, which you're going to release the actual visual video. The actual video is Thursday, correct?
Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. It'll be premiered. It'll be live. I'm going to see if there's a way for us to be somehow on it when we do it live, or at least one of us to be on there, so that we can watch it together with whoever else is watching it.
Right.
We'll react, but if not, it's going to be all over. We'll make sure to blast it on everything, all social medias and what have you. So you'll be hearing about it for sure.
So definitely if you want to check out the song, you can, everyone. You can look it up. It is called Disconnect, but you're not going to see shit. You're not going to see anything. So if you need that video, now you have another reason to go back to the page and check them out this Thursday, where the video will be fully released. And every 2 months, you guys are going to be releasing a song until you're ready to drop that album, which you're expecting spring next year.
Been working our asses off to make sure that we have plenty of material so that we continuously keep people, watching and listening, and we're working on getting our Spotify numbers up. So if you're on Spotify and have not liked us yet, please go on there, follow the page, share it, add songs, save songs, add them to your playlist. Spotify is the big way that, all these venues and people see your value. So we have to build that number up big time.
Right.
But definitely we're going to continuously release music so that we can stay on those algorithms and keep people listening and sharing.
All right, killer. We're definitely going to be keeping in touch with that. Feel free to send me links anytime. Be like, Fran, look what we got. Now, I know you guys got a couple of shows coming up on the West Coast. Did you want to drop some shout outs on that?
We're playing this weekend, Eugene, at Sam Bond's Garage is what it's called. It's downtown Eugene somewhere. On the 19th of August, we'll be playing in Spanaway, Washington, just south of Tacoma, at a place called Sam's Bar and Grill Amphitheater. We're excited about that one because we used to play there back in 2010. They didn't have the outdoor stage and whatnot, and now they have an outdoor amphitheater all set up and whatnot. And
nice.
Got a lot of stories from back in the day that we used to play when we were first starting out. Then we have August 25th down in Medford at a place called Johnny B's. We haven't played there in a number of years, so we're excited for that one. And then we have we're going our first time ever playing in Reno on the 26th of August. We're playing at the Cellar Stage, I believe is what it's called. So it's our first time playing in Reno. We played Vegas a few times already, but this is the first time in Reno for us for me anyways, to hang out there and then also to play. So that's what we have this month.
The biggest.
You guys ready to hit that stage again?
Oh yeah, I'm excited to go to Reno and play with Amerikan Overdose.
Are you a gambler?
No.
Okay.
No. But I love any town that loves a drunk. You know what I mean?
You're gonna be welcomed everywhere. You're good to go. So, well, when you guys are ready to go Midwest, let me know.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
We love the Midwest.
I'm multifunctional. It's not just podcasts and interviews. I book shows too. Anyone that comes from the Midwest, hit up the Savage Ladies. I'm a booking
Midwest is
agent
great
also.
for shows. Like people love us out there. Like anytime we played out there, it's always been a great time.
Oh yeah, man! I could talk. Dude, we could totally throw a killer show for you. Absolutely. So definitely looking forward to you guys. Everyone, again, keep your ears and eyes peeled. New video officially released this Thursday. Every 2 months after that, check it out. And they got a few shows West Coast. You guys definitely enjoyed today. Thank you for joining me and making time to say what's up to everyone. And welcome back again.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. For anyone, for all those who haven't done it yet, subscribe to the Savage Ladies of Metal YouTube page. We're not going to be going nationwide. Or eventually, if you want to catch catch my interviews, you got to come to YouTube. We're going to be cutting it off soon, so it's going to be the only way to do it, straight through YouTube. So subscribe, check it out, meet other great bands just like Amerikan Overdose. They are coming back finally, and they're going to take over, and I'm going to help them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, have a beautiful night. Mad love and respect.